Fitness testing is testing the physical attributes of an athlete. This means taking measurements of someone's body and their responses to exercise and how well they can perform a given task. For example, a sit and reach test is a way of testing the flexibility of the hamstrings. A coach will use fitness testing so that they know what their players need to improve and to see if they are up to their standards to play the sport at a high level. This means that the coach can play different sessions for the things they need to work on. For example, a player's leg strength may not be where it should be. Therefore, the coach will focus on improving the leg strength of the players in the training sessions to come. A coach will use fitness testing so that they know what their players need to improve and to see if they are up to their standards to play the sport at a high level. This will mean that they can improve all the small things in their team's game and end up improving the overall team performance.
One of these tests is the bleep test. This test involves continuous running between two lines 20 metres apart in time to recorded beeps. The participants stand behind one of the lines facing the second line and begin running when instructed by the recording. The speed at the start is quite slow. The subject continues running between the two lines, turning when signalled by the recorded beeps. After about 1 minute, a sound indicates an increase in speed and the beeps will be closer together. This continues each minute. If the line is reached before the beep sounds, the subject must wait until the beep sounds before continuing. If the line is not reached before the beep sounds, the subject is given a warning and must continue to run to the line, then turn and then try to catch up with the pace within 2 more beeps. For this test, the trainer will need a radio to be able to play the beep sounds on. The sounds usually come on a CD and can be purchased online. Another test is the vertical jump test. The subject stands onto a wall and reaches up with his hand closest to the wall, keeping the feet flat on the ground. The point of the fingertips is marked or recorded. This is called the standing reach height. The athlete then stands away from the wall and leaps vertically as high as possible, using both arms and legs to assist in projecting the body upwards. Attempt to touch the wall at the highest point of the jump. The difference in distance between the standing reach and the jump height is the score. The best of 3 attempts is recorded. The only equipment that may be needed is a vertical wall ruler, which is then stuck to the wall. To the right is also normative data for the test, which the athletes can compare their results to judge whether it is a good score or not.
The skinfold measurement test can be used from 3 to 9 different standard anatomical sites around the body. The right side is usually only measured for consistency. The tester pinches the skin at the appropriate site to raise a double layer of skin and the underlying adipose tissue, but not the muscle. The calipers are then applied 1 centimetre below at right angles to the pinch, and a reading in millimetres is taken 2 seconds later. The mean of 2 measurements should be taken. Equipment needed for this test includes calipers, and that is all. So the sit and reach test. This test involves sitting on the floor with legs stretched out straight ahead. The shoes should be removed, the soles of the feet are placed against a flat box. Both knees should be locked and pressed flat to the floor. The tester may assist by holding them down with the palms facing downwards and the hands on top of each other or side by side. The subject reaches forward along the measuring line as far as possible. Ensure that the hands remain at the same level, not one reaching further forward than the other. After some practice reaches, the subject reaches out and holds that position for 1 to 2 seconds whilst the distance is recorded.
The press-up test is all about testing the muscular strength in the pectorals and triceps. This is used to give an indication for the muscle endurance for the whole body. The correct technique for this test will begin with the hands and toes touching the floor. The body and legs straight line, feet slightly apart. Arms should be shouldered width apart, extended at the right angle of the body. Keep the back nice and straight as well as the knees. The subject lowers the body to a or until there is a 90-degree angle in the elbows. Then we return to the starting point with the arms extended. This action is repeated and test continues until exhaustion. The test is done by counting how many press-ups a person can do in a minute. To the right normative data. An advantage of overall fitness testing is that athletes can identify strengths and weaknesses. This means that they will know what they need to improve upon to make them a better player. And because of this, athletes can then monitor progress throughout the season or competitions to see how they're doing, which is another advantage. And the final advantage is that these tests can see what sport each player or should be doing. So, for example, in America, when they do American football, they do a lot of these tests to see what position will suit them, or even if they're good enough to actually play. A disadvantage of fitness testing is the reliability of the tests. This is because some of them don't test the sport's main components. For example, with grip strength, they only test the forearm and not the actual legs, which is the main component in football. Or if the bleep test is done on a golfer, it won't be very good, as they don't use a lot of aerobic endurance whilst playing. And the second and last disadvantage is that it requires full motivation, otherwise they won't be accurate. This can affect the result and then otherwise lead you to either doing well unfairly or not performing at your best and not be able to play.